Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. For today's activity, I'm going to be reading you a new story every day. It is one of our favorites. It is a mystery. It's called The Invisible Island. So today, we're going to start chapter 1. And here is a map of Green Lawn. Okay. Chapter 1. Bob, you have to get out of the way. Donald David Duncan, known as Dink to his friends, answered the telephone. Duncan residence. Dink speaking. Get over here, Josh Pinto yelled. Dink jerked the phone away from his ear. Why? He asked. My mother said we can have a picnic on Squash Island, Josh said. She made us lunch. It was a steaming hot July day. Splashing around the Indian River would feel great, thought Dink. Okay, let me tell my mom. And pick up Ruth Rose. We'll be right over. Dink ran up the stairs to his parents' room. His mother was sitting at her sewing machine, mending a pair of Dink's jeans. Hey, Mom, me and Josh and Ruth Rose are going to the river for a picnic. Okay? Dink asked. Okay, but you kids stay together, she said. Thanks, Mom. Dink pulled on old shorts and his grubbiest sneakers. Before he left, he fed Loretta, his guinea pig. Dink heard her squeak happily as he ran back down the stairs. Dink hurried over to Ruth Rose's house. Ruth Rose's cat, Tiger, was nursing her kittens on the front step. Dink carefully stepped around them, then rang the doorbell. The door opened. Ruth Rose's little brother, Nate, stood in the driveway. He had a cookie in each hand and another in his mouth. Hi, Nate, Dink said. Is your sister here? Dink blinked at Nate. Huh? Ruth Rose appeared next to Nate. Hi, Dink. What's going on? She said. Ruth Rose Hathaway liked to dress all in one color. Today she wore blue shorts, a blue t-shirt, and blue sneakers. Her springy black curls were held in place with a blue headband. Josh wants to go to Squash Island for a picnic, Dink said. Ruth Rose grinned. Great! She leaned back into the house. See you later. I'm going on a picnic with the guys. Then she bent down and wiped cookie crumbs from her brother's lips. Natey, go stay with Mommy, okay? I'll bring you back a magic stone. Nate grinned and ran back to the house. Ruth Rose pulled the door shut. Then she and Dink cut through her backyard and crossed Eagle Lane. A few minutes later, they were at Josh's house. Josh was in his front yard holding a garden hose. His little twin brothers, Brian and Bradley, were screaming and racing through the water. Hi, Josh said when he saw Dink and Ruth Rose. He shut off the water. Gotta go, he told Brian and Bradley. Be good boys and don't leave the yard. Josh grabbed his backpack off the porch. Hope you guys are hungry, he said. Mom packed a lot of food. That should last you about 3 minutes, Dink said, grinning. The kids hiked through the field behind Josh's house. Then they crossed River Road and walked to the bank of the Indian River. The river flowed slowly, rippling over a few large rocks. In most places, the water was shallow enough to wade across. Trees and shrubbery grew along these banks. Birds and squirrels chattered in the greenery. The kids walked along the river, slapping at mosquitoes. They stopped when they saw Squash Island. The small island sat in the middle of the river. It was mostly sand, shrubs, and rocks. No trees grew there, and no animals made the island their home. But the kids loved the sandy beach and clean, shallow water. They waded in, wearing their sneakers. Soon they were up to their knees. Boy, this feels good, Dink says as the cool water climbed his sweaty legs. He kicked water at Josh and Ruth Rose. They splashed him back, and pretty soon all three were soaked. A few minutes later, they flopped down on the island's small beach. Dink took off his sneakers and wiggled his toes in the warm sand. Let's eat, Josh said. He opened his backpack and brought out plastic bags holding sandwiches, slices of watermelon, and cookies. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. I wonder what it would be like to be stranded on an island, he said. Dink chewed his sandwich. Josh, we couldn't get stranded out here. All we'd have to do is wade back to shore. Josh had a faraway look in his eyes. Yeah, but what if pirates buried treasures here, he said. He dug a hole in the sand with his heels. We could be sitting over a chest filled with gold. I don't think there are any pirates in Connecticut, Ruth Rose pointed out. Why not? Josh asked. He gestured towards the vine-covered boulders in the center of the island. That would be the perfect place for a pirate hideout. Ahoy, matey, Dink said. Ruth Rose stood up. I don't want to explore, she said. She walked towards the water. I promised Nate I'd bring him back a magic stone. What's a magic stone? Dink asked. He followed her to the water's edge. This is, Ruth Rose held up a smooth, pure white pebble. What makes it magic? Nate has a bunch of these in his room, Ruth Rose said. My parents told him if he kept his room neat, the stones would turn into nickels. Josh joined Dink and Ruth Rose. He handed each one of them a cookie, and Nate, believe them? Ruth Rose grinned. When Nate cleans his room, Mom sneaks in and takes one of those stones. She leaves a nickel in its place. The kids started walking along the shore. The sun felt hot on Dink's back. So he took off his shirt. Hey guys, look, Josh yelled. He was standing over a footprint. Somebody else has been here. He grinned at Dink and Ruth Rose. Maybe it was Blackbeard. Dink stepped into the footprint. It was twice as big as his foot. I don't know about Blackbeard, he said, but whoever this was has really big feet. Look, here's another one, Ruth Rose said, and another. The kids followed the footprints away from the water. They leaned towards the boulder at the center of the island. The footprints stopped suddenly in front of a squat, covered boulder. That's funny, Dink said. What'd the guy do, jump over these rocks? Maybe he walked around them, Josh said. Dink and Josh began to circle the boulder slowly, looking for more footprints. Ruth Rose started walking in the other direction. Suddenly, Dink heard her yell, Hey guys, come over here, quick! Dink and Josh ran back the way they'd come. Look, Ruth Rose said, pointing between her feet. Something green was poking out of the sand. What is it? Josh asked. Money, Ruth Rose yelled. And that is where I'm going to stop. Tomorrow's morning message, we will be reading chapter 2. Have a wonderful day.